Salve, as you can see, the sauce is ready. The sauce is done. And this is the first stage. So this, you can see, now the pizza crust fits. Before it didn't fit the pita pan, now it fits the pan. It's a pita pan. Now I'm going to set the convection bake to 420. I did the first 8 minutes at 425. And I think that 425 might be a bit much to cook it on, because last time I did it burned. Now I'm going to add in the next of the spices. As you can see, now it's crisp, fits the pan. You can see, it shrunk to fit. Now you can put your toppings on. So first I'm going to do the black pepper, organic black pepper, simply organic. And this, the grooves on this one, you can kind of see, they kind of almost fall into the grooves. So it's actually pretty nice. So this is going to be a little tricky, doing it one-handed. This is the worst part always, the red pepper. This is going to be like 2 minutes of me shaking this thing. But I'm doing my best to get the red pepper out. This is going to be like the whole thing. But it's not so bad because I only cooked it 8 minutes, you know. So this gives me some time. But yeah, this is like where you want to use the time-lapse photography, because these things just do not want to shake out. And since I'm eating this pizza, it's going to be pretty spicy. I don't want to shake it out too much. You know, where we really grind them down. Like when I do the sauce, it's a lot easier to do. See, this sauce is going to be ready too. So you want to make sure the sauce is going to cook enough anyway. And I got the oven preheating back to 420. This oven is awful. I mean, it's like an awful oven. If you have a good oven, you know, it might cook differently. So yeah, this is probably going to be shaking this stuff for like 2-3 minutes. So, but yeah, anyways, I hadn't made pizza in like 5 years, and you know, they didn't have the crust anymore. Then the sauce that I use, that's gone. The sauce that I'm using for this one, it's like, oh, maybe I'll put, it's like an Eden's organic. It's like a 12-ounce sauce. Maybe I'll show it at the end, like you can see what the pizza looks like. But yeah, so basically, I'm going to shake on the organic red pepper. And then I'm going to do organic basil, organic cilantro, organic parsley, organic thyme, organic sage. But this is always the worst part. And I'm even going to use a little bit of cheese, a little grated cheese underneath it. I'm also going to put it on the sauce. I'm going to mix in organic artisanal coconut butter. So that's going to be a little bit of an interesting mixture. Yeah, you know, the coconut butter, I was never a coconut person, but now I'll kind of mix it in. So we'll see what stage I get to like this. As you can see, the things don't go where you want. I even tried to take a thing and like punch this thing down. I have like a rigged one where like I can do it, but it's not so bad because this is still giving time for the sauce to cook and everything. And this is a really thin crust. So when it's just crust like that, this thin, you want to actually make sure that it's like going to do what it's supposed to do. But you can see, these things are really spicy and they're big chips. So it's like, even though it doesn't look like I'm adding that much, I'm adding in a lot more than it might seem to be. Now my oven's heated at 420. So the cheese is going to be tricky. You're probably going to have to, that's going to probably be its own video. But as you can see, this is the worst part. A lot of times I'd be shaking it, cursing my head off, trying to pull out the little red pepper thing. Sometimes they're like little and they shake out good. But I guess you can kind of see there. You can see the shadow, and every so often you'll see like a peppercorn come out. You know. But this is going to be tough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this within the time span. But I'm probably going to at least get to this layer. The most important thing, too, is you can see I have a crack there. So there's going to be a crack in the crust. So you kind of want to keep that in mind when you're cutting the crust. You know where it is. You kind of want to do, when you do your cheese and everything, you want to kind of do it in a certain way so you know when you cut the crust and everything it's going to work right. A little bit of trial and error. But the thing is, you could see, since I cooked the crust enough, it's not going to stick to the pan. Like if I wanted to move the pan, move it in the pan right now, it moves to the pan. If you don't cook it enough, what happens is when you add in all the sauce and everything, it's going to stick to the pan. So then when you try to get it off the pan, it's going to be stuck to the pan and all this other stuff. And I've never done this where it's been frozen. So I didn't even throw it out. I took it right out of the freezer. That's how I did it last time. It seemed fine. And I'm used to thin crust pizza. It would kind of be cool if it was like a Sicilian crust or something like that. But I think I'm only using like a 12-ounce thing of sauce. This might be my last pizza because I got more ravioli. They have like this Casio de Pepe now. They don't have the normal ravioli anymore. And sometimes, although this is easy to make in some ways, this is probably the worst part. As you can see, I wasn't kidding. Like 3-4 minutes of shaking out the red peppercorns. Just to get them situated just right. But you can see the OCD takes over. So like, see, I want to get one more in that spot. It'll keep missing. So I'll get a few more. Get a few more of the peppercorns. And then the rest should be relatively easy. Sort of speaking. The cheese is going to be a little tricky. But alright. I mean, the days, he doesn't like it when it's spicy. But yeah, that's pretty much, that's the red pepper. And that's a nightmare. So then I add very little basil, a little bit of basil. You know, little basil. You can see even the basil doesn't want to shake out on me. It's like these shakers just do not want to shake out. But it's got like little grooves in it, so it almost like the little grooves almost make it like kind of easy. Cilantro, you want to add a lot of cilantro. As much cilantro as you can. The cilantro is going to help with the spice. So even if you're sweating when you're eating this stuff, the cilantro should take enough edge off the spice where you're going to be able to do it. So, yeah, you want to do the cilantro right here. I think I'm going to do the other stages next in like their own thing. But this is the sort, because you know, other people, you might want to cook your things differently. So you don't even need some of those other steps. But yeah, the cilantro is very important. So you want to do as much cilantro as you can. Because the cilantro is going to keep this so it's spicy, but you can eat it. If you use too much cilantro, it might taste like soap water or something like that. But this should be just enough of the cilantro. Then I add organic parsley, a little bit of organic parsley. You can see that. You can see that flowing in there pretty nicely. Parsley is kind of easy to work with. Then I add a bit of thyme, and then the next thing I'm really careful with not to add too much. But yeah, a little bit of thyme. You know, you can use more thyme or less thyme, depending how much thyme you have. Yes, we do puns. And then this is sage. You can see sage, very little sage. So I've heard sage can cause seizures and stuff like that. Okay. So we're going to go into the sauce stage next. So basically, but before we do the sauce stage, this is an important stage too. Artisan organic coconut butter. So this is going to be used. See? So this is going to make a big difference. I'm going to use this, and then when I add the sauce, it's going to like mix into the sauce. So you can see that. Here's some liquid of it. So this is organic Artisan coconut butter. It's not like some weird, you know, that's why I showed you the label. And you can see how I drip it in there. So I'm going to basically drip this stuff all around, and there's going to be little droplets, the little water drops. So this is going to be like a major part of the thing. So this is what I'm going to do before I add in the next stage, which is going to basically be the sauce and the cheese. That's going to be the, you know, more of a tough stage too. But you can see, it's kind of like it makes a difference. You know, dripping it in different spots. Those little bits might not seem like much, but it's going to make a difference. So I'm going to be adding the sauce and some other stuff soon. But yeah, you can see this is like one of the most important stages. You can see I'm adding in it, you know, dripping, 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 dripping. You can see. So this is going to mix in with the cheese and everything else pretty good. This is going to help cook and everything. It's going to help taste better. So I don't use like olive oil or more like normal things on here. But you can see the next stage I'm going to do when I add the toppings after this. But anyways, thanks and take care. My camera's about to go.